Dear students, in this session, let us try to understand what is the difference between the two graphs. Y is equal to mod of x plus 2, where 2 is outside the mode function, and y is equal to mod of x plus 2, where 2 is inside the mode function. The basic graph as shown with a blue V, y is equal to mod of x, we have learnt in our first series. The second type of graph, y is equal to mod of x plus 2, we try to understand. Y is equal to mod of x plus 2. Now, for the same value of x now, my y will be always 2 more than x. That we could figure out from the function. Let us try to see what will happen if my x is 0 and what will happen if my y is 0. Considering x is equal to 0, y is equal to 0 plus 2, which implies y is equal to 2. So this graph will touch the y-axis at 0, 2. Taking x is equal to taking y is equal to 0, which will imply 0 is equal to mod of x plus 2, which implies mod of x is equal to minus 2, which is not possible. As mode function, the output of mode function is always a positive value. So this graph, as we have learnt in our previous series, this graph will never touch the x-axis. If we try to plot this graph, it will be something like this, as expected. Trying to plot the below graph, where my y is equal to mod of x plus 2, where x is inside the mode function. Now here what will happen? If I take x is equal to 0, y will be equal to 0 plus 2, which implies y will be equal to mod of 2. And if I take my y is equal to 0, then 0 will be equal to mod of x plus 2. Considering only positive values of x, the bracket will open out to be a positive x. So this will give me 0 is equal to x plus 2, or x will be equal to minus 2. So my coordinate will be minus 2, 0. This will be the point where my graph will touch the x-axis. Let us try to plot this graph. You can see this way. Here it will touch the x-axis at minus 2, and the y-axis or the y-intercept is 2, as we have figured out. Now see, if we try to compare both the graphs over here, let us keep the original graph also. Understand the difference between the second graph and the third graph. In the second graph, the graph is not changed its shape, but it is just shifted by 2 units on the top. But in the third graph, the green one, the graph is shifted by 2 units towards the left. So if my constant is outside the mode function, the y will shift either above or below, depending on whether the constant is positive or negative. But if my constant is within the mode function, then my graph will either shift towards the right or left, depending on the value of the constant. If it is mod of x plus 2, it will be towards the left. If it is mod of x minus 2, it will be towards the right. I hope this is clear. Thank you. To understand the concepts further, move on to the next video in the same series.